Hey everyone, Emily here, back with week 6, Feeling Festive, sponsored by NSI. This week we were asked to create our own 3D carnival on 10 nail tips on an actual hand. Our video must include one nail tip form to finish to commemorate the patent of the nail form. My inspiration came from what you might be able to find at a local carnival here in the States, or what we like to call fairs. So let's get right into the video. We are allowed to remove the nail for nail art, so I am forming it on top of a plastic nail tip on my nail. When applying your form, I find it easier to close the tabs before placing it on your nail so you have more control of where it's going to sit. I love sculpting on nail forms, but it can be a little tricky when you lay your bead of acrylic down and it's running side to side and you're trying to put it back up in its place, and your brush kind of feels like it's getting stuck in the acrylic. So something I like to do is wipe your brush off and re-wet in monomer. That way you have a fresh, clean brush. When the acrylic gets stuck on your brush and you go to form it, it just kind of pulls it back down and gets messy, and you're trying to wipe it off and you're wiping off too much acrylic. So just make sure you have a nice clean brush when you're sculpting up the sides. Follow the guidelines down the side of the form so you keep a nice shape to the acrylic and it requires less filing in the end. Before you apply glitter to a sculpted acrylic, you want to make sure you have a nice flat surface. That way there's no lumps and bumps in the acrylic and could create a high point, and when you're filing through the finished product, you don't file through the glitter. Dip your brush into the clear acrylic and then dip it straight into the loose glitter. This way you don't have to mix up a whole bunch of different glitter acrylics and you have limitless possibilities for your glitter choices and not having to waste a whole bunch of product. Once you have the first two colors of glitter on, dip your wet brush straight into the glitter without any acrylic on it to build up the intensity of the color. It will still move around in the acrylic you already have on the nail that hasn't dried. The three colors I'm using is Fortune Teller, Carnival Nights, and Games of Chance. Seal in the glitter with a clear acrylic before filing. Apply, seal, and cure. Look at that sparkle, seriously so beautiful. No carnival would be complete without a Ferris wheel, so I started sculpting out the sides of the Ferris wheel, the circle part of it, using sleigh rides. Using a wet brush, drag the acrylic into the shape you want, frequently cleaning your brush off so the acrylic doesn't get stuck in the bristles. This can be a tedious step because you just have to keep shaping until it stays in the spot you want it. It's funny that I chose a Ferris wheel for my design because I'm absolutely terrified of Ferris wheels, or any kind of carnival ride for that matter. I don't trust something that you can put up and take down in a couple days and just move on to the next city. For the cart on the Ferris wheel, I'm using the tip of a little squeeze applicator, and using the white acrylic, I pat it on the top and then just pat it out into place, wiping my brush off in between to keep it clean. Repeat the same process for the, I guess you would call spikes of the Ferris wheel that you did for the outer circle part of it. When you're making multiple things off of one design, switch from side to side, that way you let the other side dry in between and you're not messing with what you've already laid down. Add a wire to the top of the cart so it can hang off the Ferris wheel, and then I added a bottom section also to the cart so it wasn't just circular and had a flat area to sit. Using some glue, attach wires to 4 corners of the circle and little beads of acrylic to keep the carts in place when they're hanging on there. And here you can see it can spin. Use a small bead of acrylic to attach it to the tip of a little metal piece to feed through the circles of your Ferris wheel, that way it has an axis to spin on. All you have left to do is attach it onto the nail. Here you can see it can spin with the carts hanging on it. This was my first movable acrylic piece that I made on nails, and I really like how it turned out. I love the little carts, and yeah, so here's my finished Ferris wheel. Here are my finished nails, complete with a fun house, food, a fortune teller, fireworks, and a Ferris wheel. Hope you liked it, and voting starts February 25th. Thanks, bye!